officials are leading the teams onto the field for the introductions. And the officials for tonight's game, the center referee is Josh Hartwell. The assistant referees are Jose Ramos Munoz and Saeed Ruzagar. Now let's meet the starting lineups for tonight's game. First, the starting lineup for the visiting Rosemount Irish, starting with the goalkeeper, junior, number 1, Emmy Biebel. Defense, senior, number 3, Charlotte Bartlam. Defense, senior, number 4, Aubrey Wimberly. Forward, senior, number 5, Abby Heipel. Defense, senior, number 6, Ella Johnson. Midfield, sophomore, number 7, Skylar Heimerl. Forward, sophomore, number 9, Kendall Great. Midfield, 9th grade, number 11, Nora Martin. Forward, senior, number 13, Chloe Tudino. Defense, senior, number 14, Ivy Wessel. And forward, 9th grade, number 25, Kayla Freeman. The Irish assistant coaches are Tommy Savance, Sophie Horn, Terry Greener, and Olivia Bruce. The head coach of the Rosemount Irish is Nels Docken. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our visitors to Wildcat Stadium this evening, the Rosemount Irish. Now here is the starting lineup for your Eagan Wildcats, starting with the goalkeeper, junior, number 0, Maddie Weisel. Forward, sophomore, number 3, Ellie Westerman. Defense, junior, number 5, Anna Enning. Midfield, junior, number 6, Evie Burke. Forward, senior, number 8, captain, Ava Leitenberg. Forward, senior, number 10, Kylie Weisendonner. Midfield, senior, number 12, Audrey Siljan. Defense, senior, number 13, Isabella Fall. Defense, senior, number 16, Kate Cron. Defense, senior, number 20, Angelina Illyria Yin. And midfield, senior, number 24, Captain Inga Jolstrom. The Wildcats assistant coaches are Michael Porter, Giovanni Lemus, and Justice Gobin. The head coach of the Eagan Wildcats is Qasim Ilmi. Ladies and gentlemen, your Eagan Wildcats. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, the national anthem will be presented. We invite you to stand. The flag is located at the north end of the stadium. The national anthem this evening will be performed by Caden Brasso. He is a senior at Eagan High School.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that a flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
That was Caden Brasso with our national anthem. Thank you, Caden. Great job.
The sky is blue, the grass is green. Great day to be alive and a great day for girls high school soccer, which is what we have for you here on ETV. Good evening, everybody. My name is Nathan Cron, joined by my broadcast partner Skip Newton and an award-winning ETV crew, bringing you the sights and sounds of girls high school soccer, high-end, high-energy girls high school soccer here from the campus of Eagan High School located in Eagan, Minnesota. And we've got a dandy for you tonight. Not only do we have two teams ranked in the top 11, Skip, of the Minnesota Coaches Poll, but these are bitter rivals, section rivals, conference rivals. It does not get any better than this tonight.
Yeah, these two teams are the participants in the section finals for the last 4 years running, and they've split those games 2 apiece. It's an early, huge game in the conference play because, these are section rivals. This could determine who gets the number 1 seed in Section 3.
It would fully be expected that the winner would be in the pole position. There's always a chance that if something crazy happens, if one team wins and suddenly their form goes in the tank, that's always a possibility. But the Wildcats taking the field today against the Irish. Irish will look to rebound and look to get a little bit of vengeance on the Wildcats. Last 2 times these teams met were here at Eagan Stadium. The first in the regular season, Eagan winning 2-1. Second time, Section 3A championship game, Eagan 2-0 prevailing over the Irish. It's got to be on the minds of the Irish.
I would think a little bit. I mean, we knew they were rebuilding quite a bit last year after graduating 10 seniors the year before. They've had a change of coaches. Of course, Coach Nels Dokken, a very highly respected coach in the Minnesota State soccer community, so he'll have these girls ready to play. They're looking to get back to the state tournament, of course, back to state championship form of 2 years ago.
Well, it's a big mountain to climb, but both teams in the top 11. So Eagan at number 11 with the others receiving votes. Rosemount Irish number 8 in the Minnesota High School Coaches Poll. We'll set your lineup here momentarily as the Irish in their road whites with white socks, dark numbers. Eagan with their royal blue uniforms, blue socks and white numbers. For the Irish, it's Beeble, Bartlam, Wimberley, Heupel, Johnson, Heimerl, Great, Martin, Todino, Wessel, and Freeman, a freshman starting for the Rosemount Irish. That doesn't happen very often, Skip.
No, it doesn't, but they're not afraid to put their most talented players on the pitch. We've seen this before. Both players, Great and Heimerl, they're sophomores now, but they were playing on the team last year as freshmen.
For the Wildcats, we've got forwards of Westerman, Weisendonner, and Leitenberg. Midfield is Siljan, Burke, and senior captain. There she was, senior captain Inga Jolstrom. And this is Leitenberg attacking far left side. Of course, she's left-footed. Get your defense in just a moment as Weisendonner decides to go backwards. And now tries a little change of pace. So Siljan trying to play Leitenberg through. It's going to be off Leitenberg into the corner. And a throw for the Irish. So your back line, 4 at the back to start for the Wildcats. Yin, Illyria Yin, and Enning are your outside backs. Cron and Fall are your center backs. And, of course, Weissel in goal. Junior Maddie Weissel has had all of the reps so far, due to in part to an unfortunate injury to freshman keeper Abby McGowan. Weissel has seemed to get more and more comfortable in games against Lakeville North and against Minnetonka. Attack down the far side. Kendall Great crosses it in, and that goes behind the net for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's important that Weissel gets comfortable playing at the varsity level. We know that at the beginning of the season she was brand new, so that takes an adjustment. It's a different style of play, a different speed of play, and it's great that she's getting used to that and looking much more comfortable and confident back there.
Burke with a header. Same thing about Evie Burke. She has done an excellent job of using her head, both defensively on corners as well as trying to create opportunities. Here's a chase for Todino and Yin into the corner. Yin puts that into touch. And the Irish will have a deep throw. Just getting started here. You can see the graphics in the corner. Again, graphics provided by our award-winning ETV crew. Great sound, great pictures here coming to you live from Wildcat Stadium. At this point, both teams have got visions of a conference championship and perhaps a section championship in their dreams, and we'll see which set of dreams comes true as that ball comes in generally towards goal, but really wide and probably not much of a shot.
Yeah, I got to believe that was an intended cross. It just got too much of it, pulled out the 3-iron out of the bag instead of the pitching wedge or the sand wedge, and not underneath that like she wanted. Certainly not placed where she was looking for.
I'd like to welcome everybody joining us on the live stream or on ETV. Thank you wherever you are, whether you're in Florida, Rosemount, Eagan, South Dakota, it doesn't matter. We really appreciate you guys joining us and taking in what is, I think, going to be an excellent match between two quality teams. And Great's going to give Enning a hard time down the sideline. She's going to get to that ball, but it's going to go into touch as Fall's going to let that run. So that's going to be a great battle for us to watch between Great and Enning. Enning, one of the stud outside defenders for this Wildcat team. This is her third year on the varsity team. So she's seen a lot of the Irish, and she's going to see a lot more tonight. Opportunity here for the Irish, attacking to the edge of the box. I think that was Wessel. Check it, that was Tudino sliding it wide. So first shot of the game, but it goes well wide. Wildcats haven't had a whole lot down in the Irish end as of yet. Weather here in Eagan is absolutely beautiful. Just a few minutes after 5 o'clock here, it's sunny, it's warm, as Westerman claims. Sunny, warm, a little bit of a breeze, perhaps to the favor of the Irish, but nothing dramatic. Heimerl pitches that down, looking for a Tudino in the corner. Cron comes over and sends that off of one player. Oh, clearance here by Yin, finds its way into the penalty area. Bit dangerous there.
Yeah, it looked like Yin rushed that a little bit. She didn't realize she had some more time. She probably could have brought that down and had a better shot at a touch there.
Johnson with the throw here, near side. A little discussion being had. The referee wants to check the ball, make sure it's a good one, and apparently it's not. So we're going to go back to the other ball. Some ball kids provided by Wave Soccer Club. We really appreciate the ball kids here. Martin with it. Watch there by Siljan. Martin tries to slide it through towards Weissel, and Weissel gobbles that up. Another shot, the first shot on goal for the Irish. And Weissel will try to flip the field with a punt.
Not really testing Weissel on that one. It was a easy ground ball. I think that Rosemount would prefer to get one's a little more challenging on frame.
Yin to Weisendonner. Weisendonner pitches that forward to Leitenberg. Leitenberg has it taken away from her, that time by Wessel. Finds Jolstrom. Ball gets served well forward that time by Wimberly, and it's going to go into touch. So right now, so far, neither team really testing the other's penalty area or goal. But frankly, Skip, you get the feeling it's just a matter of time until somebody starts connecting with shots on target.
Exactly, yeah. They're getting it down into the Eagan defensive third. They're just not connecting in that final third. Eagan needs to take a little more pressure off their defense and maintain control in the middle and work it up.
Ball comes in towards Weissel. Weissel off her line alertly, nicely done. As Great was lurking. And the first 8 minutes or so of this game see us scoreless as that ball finds its way into the midfield. Wildcats midfield just hasn't quite got their rhythm yet in this game. Let's see if they can put together some passes. Impressive win for the Wildcats, a come-from-behind win against the Minnetonka Skippers, the highly rated Minnetonka Skippers on Saturday. They were down 1-0 at the half, came back for a 2-1 victory. Goals by Leitenberg and Tess Triplett. Tess Triplett notching her first varsity goal for the game winner, but has to give the Wildcats a lot of confidence. Weisendonner, speaking of confidence, chips that forward looking for Westerman. It doesn't quite come off as the Irish defense claims. And now Leitenberg on the outside. Her shot towards goalkeeper Biebel. It's a shot. It's on goal, but it's not going to trouble Biebel in any meaningful way.
Yeah, Leitenberg didn't have a whole lot to work with over there. Had a bad angle. Wasn't really anybody in front of the box to do a cross to, so she just put that one on net.
Knee with a header. And Siljan wins the throw. Nicely done that time. Martin battling with Siljan in the middle. Audrey Siljan, last time here at Wildcat Stadium, notched her first 2 goals of her career, of her varsity career. You go from having no goals in your varsity career to having 2 in the same night, Skip Newton. That's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, once you break that barrier and get that first goal, almost takes the pressure off, and I think it becomes a lot more relaxed on the pitch, especially if you get another opportunity in the same game.
Oh, here's a great ball coming in from Martin. And the Irish will attack. Yin being pressed into duty against Tudino. She's going to concede the corner. Good job by Yin to get back that time because she was beaten on the edge but used her speed to catch up.
Yeah, nice job recovering there by Yin. Really gave the Rosemount forward no other option. Nice job by Rosemount there, earning the corner kick, the first one of the game.
Great with her left foot. We'll put it in play, far side. That one comes in towards the Wildcat goal, but harmlessly goes up and over everything. Unlucky there for Great. It was a nice ball. It floated well, but it was well behind as you see the Irish taking their spots, waiting for this goal kick from Isabella Fall.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Great was aiming for the player outside that far post or that backdoor, header into the goal, or if she was looking for the upper corner herself. That was really close.
Speaking of Great, it falls for her, ending with the defense. Nicely done. Good, well done.
Dangerous.
Yeah, she had to get that right, and she did. Great maintains possession, though, sends it across. Weissel, nicely done.
That's a brilliant play by Weissel. That's not going to be technically a save. It was not on goal. But if she doesn't play that, it looks like it might be a tap, and just a great diving play there. No rebound yielded as well.
The plan so far for the Irish, I think we kind of have a sense of maybe what the Irish might be thinking offensively, Skip. Certainly seems to be to get these 2 outside wings involved, test the outside of the Wildcats defense, and then cross to the middle. Speaking of the middle, here's Weisendonner. She's going to send that forward. Nicely done. Westerman is onside. She's got an opportunity. She puts it on net, and nicely done by Biebel. I think Westerman probably thought maybe she was running out of options there. She was certainly running out of real estate, but she was onside as Irish defender Wimberly was waving her arm in the air, but she was clearly onside during that run.
Clearly onside, and I think Westerman's first touch did not go really where she would have wanted it. It started to fade further outside, which took away her own angle. Had that first touch been more to the center of the pitch, I think she would have given herself a much better opportunity to score there.
It's a bit axiomatic perhaps, but the reality of it is that when the Wildcats put together passes, when they put together 5 or 6 passes in a row, invariably a shot on goal or a scoring opportunity seems to occur. That ball gets pitched over the top. And part of that is going to have to do with how the midfield gels and how they're able to control the game. From our standpoint, Skip, it looks like Rosemount's maybe playing with 4 in the middle with 2 up top. So those wings are wings, but they're pushed. They're 2 on top, but they're wide. So it almost looks like a 4-4-2 to me. Maybe a diamond in the middle. And so that means there are 4 midfielders to Eagan's 3, right? And so I got to get the sense that maybe the Wildcats are going to have to be extra active. They're going to have to make an extra effort to not be overrun in the midfield.
Yeah, they'll be thinking about adjusting, I think, if they continue to lose ground in the midfield, because that's where this game can be won or lost for sure.
Enning pops that back in. Wessel's going to be off her line. Wildcats lurking. Wildcats don't get an opportunity there. Good opportunity for Westerman to stab at it. Ball comes for Great on the outside. Enning watching her. Enning giving a little bit of space, now taking on Great. Trying to pull her back a little bit. Has to be careful there. This ball comes through for Cron. Weissel jumps on it. Nicely done.
We can't hear from up here, but I'm assuming since Cron let that one go that Weissel was communicating with her all the way. It's really important to have that goalkeeper-defender communication, and that was spot on.
And Weissel will try it again. The Wildcats, so far, Skip, not winning too many 50-50 balls.
Yeah, that's a great observation, and it's a little uncharacteristic. I feel like they've won a lot of balls in the air up until this point, at least in the matches that I've seen, taking advantage of their height in some instances. But that's not the case so far. But we're only 14 minutes in. Of course, that can change, and probably needs to change. Eagan to get a little more time of possession.
As we said in the pregame, these two teams responsible for the last two Section 3A championship games, and therefore the last 4 titles, 2 to the Wildcats, 2 to the Irish. Obviously, both teams looking not only for conference titles and section titles, but actually looking to make some noise at state. This ball gets played short by Enning. Enning over to Cron. Ball took its time getting there. Now Yin's pitching it but over. Leitenberg's going to try to get to that. Might have been a handball. Center referee Josh Hartwell plays advantage. Yin's going to make a run to this. Now Fall. And Fall is going to concede the penalty. Oh, it's a penalty. Isabel Fall with the foul in the penalty area. Wasn't much, but it didn't have to be much.
Really unfortunate there because the ball had already been played out. Like, there was no way that Rosemount was going to get any sort of scoring opportunity out of that play, and the hard foul afterwards. I mean, it's a good call. It was an easy call to make.
Yeah, the assistant referee and the center referee had no hesitation. They knew exactly what they wanted to see happen. Great will stand over this. Weissel will move up and down her line, see if she can parry it out. Opportunity here for Kendall Great to put the Irish in front, 1-0. And her left foot squeezes in under Weissel, and it's a PK in the 15th minute, and the Irish take a 1-0 lead.
Good execution there by Great. Low, hard shot into the far corner. That's a really tough save for a keeper to make.
Looked like Weissel, at least Weissel, to her credit, she stood her ground. She dived. She went the right way. She went the right way, just was not able to come up with it, but the Wildcats do find themselves down in an early hole. See how they react to that. Again, on Saturday the Wildcats did a nice job of coming back from a 1-goal halftime deficit. Wildcats will have a come from behind opportunity here today.
When you mentioned, the 4 midfielders in this formation for Rosemount versus the 3 for Eagan, you also talked about that Minnetonka comeback when they came out in the second half and changed their formation. I wonder if this will potentially expedite that change. Does Coach Q make that call earlier, or does he wait for halftime to do it if it's still a 1-0 lead?
He certainly has pushed up Yin on the near side as Weisendonner's ball doesn't find Leitenberg. It's just a little too heavy for Leitenberg. But interestingly enough, Yin's pushed up well and far. Cron slid over, and so it almost looks like a 3-back. When the Wildcats have the ball, it looks like a 3-back with the outside back, whether it's Enning or Yin, stepping quickly and the center back sliding over. When they are on defense, that outside back is trying to slide backwards. Weisendonner needs a little bit of help, finds Jolstrom. Jolstrom now, she needs some help. And now the Wildcats will reset. And that's the kind of ball movement that I think the Wildcats probably need if they're going to be successful here. That ball a little too heavy off of Leitenberg's foot. And Tadino on the outside. Check it, that's number 19. That's Styler. If I'm not mistaken, I think that, no, it is 13. Check, it is Tudino. I didn't see any substitutions for the Irish. I was wondering how number 19 got on the pitch, but it was Tudino. And she commits the foul against the Wildcats. Assistant referee and referee both quickly on that one. The Wildcats right now just not doing a whole lot to trouble the Irish back line. That ball gets pitched well over the top. Enning running with it. Renning's going to put that into touch and let the defense reset. As Abby Heupel was pressing the back line. Now the freshman climbs on the senior, and I was a little surprised there wasn't a whistle there, Skip, but to be honest with you, I mean, I understand going up for the ball, but usually you don't get to climb the other player, but in that case, center referee says we'll play on.
Yeah, I think you, me, and a few people reffing from the stands all were of the same mind there. That looked like a pretty obvious call.
I mean, I don't fault Freeman for trying to climb the ladder. I just looked like it might have been where it needed to be for a foul. In any event, we battle on. Irish in the corner. That ball gets played out. Cron's got to get a good clearance, and now she finally does.
Nice job by the Eagan defenders not yielding the corner kick down in that corner. That's clearly what Rosemount was trying to accomplish. Just looking for that deflection, but Eagan did a nice job there.
Oh, nice turn by Tudino there. Good job by Burke coming back. It's blocked. The clearance is blocked by Siljan. That's just unlucky. Now Siljan back with it. She'll get a clearance to Weisendonner. Weisendonner not able to control that and comes in too hot. Fall pops it up in the air. Isabella Fall, really, the penalty aside, has been playing some magnificent soccer for the Wildcats all season long. As the Wildcat forward, Ava Leitenberg, number 8, draws a foul from on the far side.
Fourth foul so far on Rosemount, one of them being a handball violation, but not atypical to see a physical Rosemount team. That is their style, is that they like to put bodies on and get physical, let the other team know that they're there.
And of course, Skip, the rivalry between these two teams, both in the same school districts, both, being fed by sometimes different schools or middle schools, the proximity, the number of girls that play on club teams against each other, the history between these two programs, clearly that is going to inure to some additional physical play as well.
Yeah, 100%. They're very familiar with each other. They've played with and against each other for years. It all comes out because they're all so competitive and so talented.
Great with it again. Serves it in left foot. Nice ball. Finds its way through, though, and Yin will see if she can run that to the corner. Tudino knocks it down, but somehow off Yin, far side, and the Irish will win the throw.
Yin's going to have her hands full, I think, all day long with Tudino's speed. Tudino very quick on her feet there. Yin's got to be prepared for that and anticipate that speed move, especially when there's open grass to run in.
Throw comes to the inside, and Burke heads it over the end line, and the second corner of the afternoon will go to the Irish. Second corner of the half, second corner of the game. Great again will stand there with her left foot. Her last one floated near the goal line, or near the goal, I should say, before it came over the top. Let's see what she's able to do here. A little farther out this time. Multiple heads to it. It's cleared that time by Cron. Nicely done. Off a couple of shoulders and now cleared firmly by the Wildcats. And that'll go into touch.
Great corner by Great, if you'll pardon the non-intentional pun there, but even better defense by the Wildcats. I mean, they made sure that they had plenty of bodies in the way of that header towards goal. They got it cleared fairly quickly. Nice job defensively for Eagan.
Handball violation on the Irish. A couple of substitutions waiting for the Wildcats to pop in. Looks like Tess Triplett and Macy Bray. Check it, Courtney Bumpers. That's not 11, that's 17. So Bumpers and Triplet to check in, probably to go in for going at the forward positions. Mighty heave down the sideline, gets played off of one head. Burke climbs the ladder again. Burke, nicely done. She does such a nice job of getting up for the ball in the air as Yin takes this away with her foot skills, sends that forward, looks for Weisendonner. Weisendonner, she's saying, what am I supposed to do there? She falls down, she's under my legs, I can't move, she tries to get up, I have a right to the ball. Just unlucky that time, Kylie Weisendonner. I tell you, Skip, she is the unluckiest Wildcat on the field, and 4 years running, I swear.
Yeah, I wonder if the call was a knockdown or if the call was the contact afterwards. I mean, he has to be calling knocking her down because once she's on the ground, if there's no call that put her there, then she's creating a dangerous play by being on the ground.
A great free kick by, could not see who that, forgive me, did not see who that was, but great free kick by the Irish that time. And they'll move it around. Here's Wessel, stabbed at by Jolstrom. Siljan, that gets popped up over the top, and that will go out of play. So just under 17 minutes to go. Wildcats really haven't done a whole lot offensively yet, Skip Newton.
Yeah, a couple of rushes down, but most of the action down here in the Wildcat defensive half and defensive third. So let's see if maybe a couple substitutions can get things going. If not, they just need to weather the storm here in the first half, get to halftime, and adjust then.
We should mention it is EAA night here in Wildcat Stadium. So the EAA teams are all here wearing their jerseys. You might see some of them on the broadcast as that ball gets popped up and over. Let's see if Bumpers can get to it. She does. Goes into touch, but nice effort by Courtney Bumpers from her her center forward position. It's like Triplet has moved to the side. And now Leitenberg is going to move to this side. Send that forward for Bumpers. Jolstrom plays that forward and it's intercepted. Wildcats had something going there and it didn't quite come off. But with the fresh speed of Bumpers now on the field, you wonder if maybe a ball over the top might not be a bad idea to try to break something loose against this Irish defense.
Well, they really haven't tested that back line. I think, going over the top, seeing what they've got back there would be a really good strategy for the Wildcats. Just put any sort of pressure on.
It's certainly not your ideal build-up for the Wildcats typically, as Yin gets absolutely pounded from behind.
Thought that one was borderline bookable on that. From behind like that.
Yeah, there was no play on the ball from Tadino. It wasn't as bad as it looked, probably because Yin's momentum is carrying her that way already, and so it looked extra harsh. But I would imagine the center referee would probably have a quick chat with Tadino to say, hey, be careful there. But right now the Wildcats only have had a handful of forays into the attacking third. They haven't really even tested, as you said, Skip, the Irish back line. This ball falls for Cron. Looking for Burke. Burke's dispossessed. Now the Wildcats will have to recover. And that's a good ball in towards Weisel. It skitters out for another corner. But it was a good shot, good save, and quarter conceded.
Unfortunately, could not catch that clean, but at least did a nice job getting her body in front of it and preventing the goal. Third corner so far this half, all taken by Great.
This will be their third corner kick of the game. Kick is from the far side.
Irish would dearly love to get another on the board before halftime as Great puts her foot to this. Finds its way over back line. Header away that time by Triplet. Triplet's going to chase it down. She can't keep it in.
Great play there by Triplet, not only heading that further out, and there was a Rosemount player right behind her ready to put that one on goal, but then almost winning the ball into touch.
A little bit concerning there that the Wildcats put that into the middle, a clearance that went into the middle at hip level. I'm not sure what that was all about in any event. As we said, the Irish with 4 shots, the Wildcats with, I have 3. but only 2 on goal, and easy saves for the Irish goalie. Advantage play here as Heupel comes away with it. She slams on the brakes, then accelerates. Now Tadina will chase with Kron. Now Yin. Yin sends it forward looking for Bumpers, and that ball will be off of Bumpers and out of play. Rosemount with some substitutions here momentarily. See if we can get those as well.
3 substitutions for the Rosemount Irish. Into the game, Paige Wilson, number 18. Olivia Tompkins, number 12.
Wilson, Tompkins,
Isabella Bozer, number 8.
and Bozer checking in. Ball gets flicked on. Fall will have her work cut out for her there.
Abby Heupel, number 5.
Fall with a nice play to the outside. Knocks it down, but can't find a midfielder.
That was a tough play for Fall back there. She handled it really well. Just not only won the ball, but stuck with it and was able to clear it out.
Wildcats not communicating overly well right now. Leitenberg with an opportunity here. She's got a little track speed. Let's see if she puts the moves on and creates an opportunity. She slides to the middle, tries to get it to Bumpers. And that ball will be turned over, and now the Irish will counter. Good tackle there by Kron. We'll see if the Irish are able to take advantage. They've got runners on the outside. Now they do. Yin smartly back. Fall tries to clear it, doesn't. And that one's going to run out. It's not going to run out. Yenning's going to have to play that ball, and that's going to find near great. So right now the Wildcats really, if this was a football game, we'd say they're catching blocks right now. The momentum really is one way here for the girls in white. And they have a 1-0 lead against these Eagan Wildcats.
Yeah, it feels like it should almost be a different score, but you could also argue without that foul in the box in the PK that they were sitting 0-0. So the Wildcats are doing okay despite the fact that it feels like they're getting handled fairly well so far in this game, but they do need to turn things around.
Wildcats need to continue to be aggressive defensively. Speaking of, Burke with it. Tries to slide that out for Yin. Yin sends it up looking for Bumpers. Bumpers taps that down. Now for Burke. Burke's got a little bit of green. Let's see if she's able to do something with it. Sends it up looking for Leitenberg. Enning pops that forward, but no Wildcat in the near vicinity of that.
I would have liked to have seen Enning play that one down the line, try to hit a give and go with Leitenberg.
Leitenberg, nice 1-2 pass. Leitenberg's going to put a little bit of pressure on the back line. So my first foray into the attacking third for the Wildcats in what seems like forever, Skip Newton. Maybe in the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a stretch. Need to do more of what they just did there. A couple of short passes, then a long pass. Get it down the pitch, see if they can't get something going.
Kron sends that for Enning. Enning, nice skill off the chest. Jolstrom finds Triplet. Triplet head down, slides that forward. That's going to get by everybody. I think she was expecting Leitenberg to make a run there. Step by Jolstrom. Ball finds towards Siljan. Bumpers. Nicely done. Lays it off for Yin. Yin, far side. Ball carries her out of the penalty area, but she squeams back in. Ball comes in. It's cleared that time well by the Irish. And now the Irish will counter. Job by Burke getting back. Tapping it back to Kron. Now Jolstrom. Gives it to Yin, but she's immediately under pressure. Enning. She pops it up with the left foot looking for Bumpers. Falls for Triplet. Check it, that's Siljan. There's Triplet. Triplet. Took an extra push in the back there. She's takes another push in the back. We talked about it being a physical game, but I think Triplet at some point is going to expect a whistle. This ball finds Triplet. Now Triplet with an opportunity to serve it in. She lays that off for Leitenberg. Leitenberg with the right foot. Nicely done. Back post. Nobody there. Yin. She chips it forward. Falls that time. And a handball and a penalty. A handball and a penalty for the Wildcats. An innocuous little cross from Maliria Yin finds its way onto a hand, a very clear handball. Assistant referee, center referee both immediately saw it. Holy cow, Skip Newton.
Well, a nice job by the Wildcats of getting it down there and keeping it in play. They didn't put crosses, out of play. They didn't turn the ball over. They just kept at it, and they were rewarded for their effort. Hopefully they can tie the game here the same way that Rosemount took the lead.
Jolstrom with the penalty. Big moment here for the senior captain. She slides it in off the post and cleaned up by Leitenberg. Nicely done, Ava Leitenberg. I don't know, do you give Jolstrom an assist on that?
I think you have to, right? That's one of the important things about in-play penalty kicks is that ball is live. If it's saved and it comes off, if it goes off the post like it did here, it's not a shootout. That ball is live, and a very heads-up play there by Leitenberg finishing that one, and she really did have to finish. The ball was slightly off the ground. She could have easily gotten under that and put it over the net. A brilliant game-tying goal.
And with her bad foot, and when I say bad foot, Skip, she's naturally a left-footed player. That's why she plays on the left side for the Wildcats, but such quality that time. One senior captain rings it off the post, the other senior captain pokes it in. Good opportunity for the Wildcats, and I'll tell you, if the Wildcats finish this half 1-1, if they finish this half level, Skip Newton, they've got to be feeling really good.
Absolutely. They got a little pressure down there. They're rewarded with a goal. The equalizer has been scored. Now let's see if they get a little momentum from that, right? That can bring up your energy just a little bit. Want to see if that can capitalize here in the last 8 minutes.
Ehrenberg, who had checked in, sorry about that, I did not catch that. Ehrenberg checks in, Kron with the battle there. So Ehrenberg has checked in. Let's see who else has checked in. I think Bray has checked in. She has. Triplet feeds that forward for Bumpers. Bumpers is going to have an opportunity. Bumpers is faster. She's going to get a foot to it. She's going to try to put it on goal. It's going to go off of a defender. Great rally that time by the Irish on defense. Leitenberg is going to go backwards. It's going to be intercepted. Great with a nice move around Enning. And now she'll counter. Enning's going to have to break her neck to get back. Enning's going to need some help. Fall's going to come out and help her. And between the two, it's a goal kick.
Well, I tell you, if you put aside your partisan viewership, we're all a little biased towards the Wildcats, and you just appreciate what you're watching here from number 9, Kendall Great. She is a fun athlete to watch. She really knows what she's doing on the pitch, and it's exciting. And unfortunately for Wildcat fans, she's just a sophomore, so we're going to have to deal with her for a couple more years after this.
So Styler, speaking of the aforementioned Great, who's still not off the field yet. I'm a little surprised the referee let them start the play without Great off the field. In any event, Great off the field, earning a well-deserved break, having played the first 34 and change minutes of this game. Styler taking her spot. Wessel's going to try to cross this over to the far side. Ehrenberg will give chase. Wildcats have got to be stepping quickly as this ball gets popped in. And that ball is going to go up and over, and a goal kick. Lucky there, Weissel did not touch that ball. We might have conceded yet another corner. But right now, the Wildcats have got to be feeling really good about their situation, Skip. With 34 minutes gone in this first half, they find themselves level with the Rosemount Irish.
Yeah, that was a huge goal for momentum and confidence. Now they just need to pick it up a notch, and then this will be a fantastic final 46 minutes.
Ball finds Bray. Bray, Leitenberg. Triplet, nicely done. Creates space and time. Serves it over. Just did not serve it well. She just needed to give Yin more room to run. Defense was able to claim it. Imagine.
Yeah, she had open space in front of Yin. She just didn't put enough on it over there.
Bozer in the middle. That ball gets popped over a couple of players. That ball's going to find its way to Fall. Shouts for handball from the Irish faithful. Referee not having any of that as that ball finds its way into touch despite Jewett's best efforts. And remember, handballs are tricky things. It used to be you kind of knew when it was a handball. Now, Skip Newton, the guidance on handballs has been it's it's not nearly as easy to call a handball now as it used to be.
I felt like that one, her hands were down in a natural position, and it was just a blast that hit her hand. And that's a good non-call. You'll see referees at very high levels, they let that one go all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. They do. And the other thing we've seen, or the other thing we saw, the Wildcats saw this last weekend against Minnetonka was a ball off a deflection. So the ball would deflect off another player, hit another player in the hand, and the referees just were not going to give that. And you know, it makes sense. It's certainly in accordance with IFAB's guidance. I'll say it that way. Ball comes back looking for Cron. Cron sends it forward. Nicely done. Bray. She's got a couple of runners. That one came off the hand. It's the same thing there. So Yin to the outside. Bray. Oh, dispossessed. Wildcats had an opportunity, had 2-on-1 over there, but ended up losing it. Fall flashing the speed there. Nicely done. Bozer pushing Fall in the back a little bit, right, making sure she knows she's there. Burke, big touch, lets her down a little bit. Cleaned up by Enning. Enning's going to look for Bumpers. Bumpers lays off that time. Nicely done. Now this is Leitenberg. Leitenberg pops it up, but can someone in blue get on the end of it? And the answer is no. Falls for Johnson on the far side. Somebody in blue needs to step. Unfortunately for the Wildcats, the Irish shoot that wide, so not a lot of shots. 5 shots to 4. So not a lot of shots for either team, Skip Newton, but it certainly feels like the Irish have dominated things offensively in this game, yet find themselves level.
Yeah, final 3 minutes here. Feels like the intensity's picking up a little bit for the girls in blue, which is a good thing. Still looking to see if any adjustments are made formation-wise at the half. Even though Eagan has that equalizer, they're still not controlling the middle of the field like they would like to. Got to check back there. Waiting for the ball against Rosemount's going to result in a lot of lost 50-50 balls.
Yeah, just too many times the Wildcats have waited on a ball or waited on a pass. And it seems to be that in Rosemount, like I said, it seems, Skip Newton, that the 50-50 balls are not all going towards Rosemount's way, but a vast majority of them have been, although perhaps maybe not so much in the last 5 minutes. Burke and Bray. Bray deflected. Enning tries to go over the top for Triplett. Triplett gets ahead to it. It's pitched forward that time. Cron will settle this. Like to see Cron maybe just go over the top. Oh, Triplett tries a little 1-2 there. Nicely done. Now Triplett again. Triplett serves it across. That's maybe just a little too close to the Irish keeper, and Beeble will claim that one.
They need to get under that one a little bit or play it off more to a side where Beeble can't come out and make an easy play. But otherwise, I did like the passing in that middle third to set that up.
Styler bringing it up the sideline here. She's got an overlapping runner here. And that
Great
ball gets
step.
pitched out. Wildcats need to get this ball down and simply control it, Skip. It seems like it's really bouncing on them a lot. Leitenberg breaking up the play the hard way, and 3 substitutions here for the Irish. So 1 minute to go here in the first half. Both teams look like they might finish on level terms, which would be, not to predict anything, Skip Newton, but if both teams did finish on level terms at the end of the game, that would create quite the interesting scenario for games going forward as well. I mean, what does a tie do to section seeding, to conference championships? What does a tie do? Who knows?
Yeah, you really got to look at your record against common opponents, I would guess, as well as, of course, overall record.
Step by Burke, creates the turnover, claimed by Bray. Triplett, nicely done, slides that forward for Leitenberg. Leitenberg serves it forward for Bumpers. Bumpers is going to make a run. She comes away with the ball, has it on her left foot. She's got Leitenberg, left foot. Oh, what a block. What an absolutely brilliant block by Wessel. Leitenberg got to that ball, put it in a place that might have actually been on frame, and Wessel absolutely brilliant on that save or deflection.
Yes, and a really, really nice heads-up play there by Bumpers. I mean, she had an opportunity for a pretty bad angle shot. You never know, right? But, wow, just heads up. She knew she had a little bit of time, looks back, found Ava Leitenberg, and dropped a perfect pass.
Yeah, absolutely. Bumpers with magnificent field vision there, I think, Skip. In any event, we find ourselves knotted up at 1. 1 goal for the Irish, 1 goal for the Wildcats. Exciting stuff. I promised you at the beginning of the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, that you would see some really good soccer. Wildcats weren't probably playing their best through most of that half, but find themselves on level terms. We'll step aside here for halftime. Be back in about 10 minutes, folks, here on ETV. Score Irish 1, Wildcats 1. Back for the second half, coming up in 10 minutes, folks. Welcome back to the second half here from the campus of Eagan High School, Eagan, Minnesota. The Irish and the Wildcats knotted up at 1 here coming in out of the second half. Irish getting on the board with a PK by Kendall Great in the 15th minute, answered by a goal by Ava Leitenberg in the 32nd minute, and we have 40 minutes on the clock. A second half here to go. Nathan Cron along with my broadcast partner Skip Newton and the award-winning ETV crew. Skip, the game here for the Wildcats is pretty simple. Be better than you were in the first half, more consistent than you were in the first half, and get something on frame.
Exactly. As long as it's tied, anything can happen. Really, all it takes is one rush down the pitch, one weird hop or one great play, whatever you want to call it, and you can take the lead. But they do need to get more aggressive. I think Rosemount's playing more physical. They're winning more of those 50-50 balls. We talked about that in the first half, and so we just need to see Eagan pick things up a little bit.
Well, a good start here for the Wildcats as they'll have a deep throw for Ilaria Yin, near side of your screen, left side of your screen. Wildcats did not put a lot of pressure on the Rosemount back line, and we're going to have a foul here against Macy Bray. So the Irish will relieve pressure that way. Looks like the attacking front here for the Irish looks to be the same. Tadino on one side with Great on the other. And certainly a concentrated effort to get the ball to these wings. An attack down the wings. Not a lot of attacking up the middle, if you could say that, as Great goes by Enning. Fall will challenge and will concede the corner. Interesting. Okay. So from our perspective, couldn't quite tell what happened, but center referee Josh Hartwell, no hesitation, pointing to the corner. So first corner of the half for the Irish.
Great took all of them in the first half, but all of them from the first half were putting her into a position to be an in-swinger from the other side of the pitch. So they switch up here in the second half.
Johnson over it. Sends it in kind of flat. Big header away by Burke. She has been so good at that. These defensive headers, getting good clearances. Ball comes up over the top off the arm of Freeman, the freshman. She's watched there by Cron, and Cron will concede that foul.
I thought maybe she was in an offside position. Looked like she had come back to that. In fact, I think she was anticipating that as she kind of hesitated when it hit her. No call, and definitely a big break here for the Irish, a good goal-scoring opportunity.
Great will stand over it. Center referee backs up the two-person Eagan wall. Weissel in goal. Let's see if Great serves this across or goes to goal with it. She goes to goal with it. It comes off the post and out, and it will be another corner for the Irish.
A dangerous shot there by Great. She hammered that one.
Had some curve on it too, didn't it?
Yeah, Weissel couldn't get there in time, and it actually deflected off the post and then off Weissel and back out. She's lucky that didn't bounce off her and go into the net.
Great will take this again. Left foot in swinger. The ball comes in flat. Finds its way down. I'm not sure why the Wildcats thought that was going to be out. It wasn't. Here's an opportunity. Wildcats counter. Big opportunity for Leitenberg. Leitenberg just needs to make the run. Bumpers needs to stay onside. Leitenberg cruising, slides across. Bumpers, right foot. Goal for Bumpers. Oh my goodness gracious. Courtney Bumpers, she was offside. Offside.
She was running in an offside position the entire time. She needed to step back and let the ball get in front of her to put her onside. She did not do that. Unfortunate break there for the Wildcats, but the AR on the far side was all over that.
Yeah, he certainly was. And you heard me in that build-up saying she needs to stay onside. She needs to set that up. She needs to expect that light ball is going to make it over from Leitenberg.
Well, and the big counter there for the Wildcats really got us away from the play at the other end, like you mentioned. I don't know why Eagan let that corner go through. They were lucky that didn't result in a Rosemount goal.
Absolutely should have been. Rosemount will be upset that they didn't notch one there. This ball comes back for Cron. Cron slides forward for Yin. And that ball gets put into touch. Let's see if Cron or Yin, who's going to have this throw. Ball comes back for Yin, finds Jolstrom. Jolstrom, Enning. And that's one way of preventing the Irish from exercising their so far somewhat formidable outside wing attack is possess the ball and make those wings play defense. Ball comes to the inside. Triplett, dispossessed. Now comes and gets it back. Nicely done for Tess Triplett. Bumpers, turn. Yin pokes that forward off of Leitenberg. Can Leitenberg come up with that? She lays it off nicely for Triplett. Now for Bray. Bray, nice move to the outside. Now to the inside. Great defense that time by the Irish. Bray, had that defense not committed to covering for their teammate, Bray would have been in on goal.
I think Triplett was waiting for Bray to make that backdoor cut. She wanted to put the through ball pass, but the run wasn't there, so they did a nice job of adjusting.
In with the throw, finds Leitenberg. Leitenberg gets it down to her feet. Still not out of danger for the Irish. Leitenberg still chasing. Leitenberg's going to get on the end of that. Sends it in with her right foot. No one's making a run there for the for the Wildcats. Yin. Ball finds its way to Burke. Burke cuts that off. Nicely done. Bray says, I'm going to try to go to goal. And that was a nice shot by Bray. A sneaky good shot that curled in. And Biebel, with solid and sure hands, Skip Newton. Otherwise, that could have been trouble.
That was a great save by Biebel. I thought when she let that go that one was going to go into the far corner, upper 90. It didn't have quite the distance that I thought when she let it go, but wow, did that one look good.
Foul in the middle of the park against the Wildcats as Heimerl gets dumped.
Foul on the Wildcats. It's a free kick for the Irish.
So free kick Irish from about the football 45-yard line. And speaking of the Irish and football, the Eagan Wildcats football team this Friday travel south down Highway 3 to play the Rosemount Irish. And, of course, the Wildcats would love to have as many fans there as possible. Last year, you'll remember the Irish here on ETV got soundly beaten by the Wildcats. That ball gets played forward. Bumpers is going to make a run. She's going to get to that. She will get to that ball, but she's going to run out of room. She does just by a 2 more yards closer, Skip, and she stops that ball right on the line.
Great speed and effort there by Bumpers. Unfortunately, couldn't quite get there in time, but still love the effort. Eagan has definitely picked it up here in the second half.
To finish that thought, the Rosemount Irish were dominated last. I don't know. Yeah. Sorry, a little production meeting there, folks. As the Wildcats earn a throw, and Ian will take it. To finish that thought, the Rosemount Irish last year dominated by the Wildcats here at Wildcat Stadium, 17-6 the final score. It wasn't that close, if I can say it that way. As Bray uses her head to try to put that out. So the Irish coming off that history, as well as last week losing to Lakeville North. Wildcat football, of course, defeating Mayo here on ETV last Friday. So the Irish will have, there will be a lot of, to channel your inner Brent Musburger and say there are a lot of angry Irish on the field.
Probably a lot from Saturday's college football action as well, if we're going to go with the angry Irish discussion.
So another corner upcoming for the Irish. Yeah, I imagine the Notre Dame Fighting Irish might be a little upset too. One of the larger upsets in probably my lifetime in college football.
Yeah, I don't think many people gave, Northern Illinois much of a chance.
University, the Huskies, that's right. In any event, we will have yet another corner. Their third of the half, their sixth of the game. Wildcats only have one corner to show for this as Great puts her foot to it. That ball comes up high. Header away. Bumpers clears. And now Burke gets on the end of it. She sends it forward. Probably could have taken an extra touch there. In any event, it comes back to Fall, who ping-pongs it around. Now Fall will again try to win that. She does. This falls for Triplett. And the ball gets bouncing like that in the middle of the field. Sometimes you have no idea where it's going to end up. Ball comes back. It's flicked on that time by Heupel. Fall, nicely done. Cleaned up by Fall and Cron. Cron wins that for Fall. Fall sends it forward. She's going to find Leitenberg. It's off of Leitenberg's head. Leitenberg's going to run through that. She's going to have an opportunity. She's got bumpers up ahead, but she plays it behind her. Oh, she plays it behind her. Chance is not gone as Bray has it. And the ball comes back in a foul, I think, on the Wildcats. Somewhere in the Irish end. To be honest with you, Skip, I didn't see that one.
Wildcats have picked up the physicality in the second half, but I think they needed to. I think they needed to do more to get a little bit into the Irish's head. They needed to do more to be more controlling of the middle of the field and to win more of those 50-50 balls like we've talked about, and they're doing that, and they're creating opportunities because of it. Although that last opportunity rush for Eagan definitely went begging. They had a couple different chances of either playing it long through to, I believe it was bumpers, and then the switch of the fields needed to go up in the air and over the top, and that would have been interesting as well. But two chances there for the Wildcats. They couldn't quite make that good pass to get into the final third.
Triplett giving chase, but that ball harmlessly flicked out into touch. Have not seen senior captain and all-state player Josie Seehafer yet on the field tonight. Be interesting to see if we see her on the field. Ball gets sent in by Enning. Enning gets it again, slides it forward for Burke. Burke one touch over for Jolstrom. Jolstrom pitches that across and just going to run out of space for Leitenberg. The Wildcats seem to be willing to feed balls to bumpers in the middle, as contrasting with Rosemount's apparent strategy of really feeding Great and Tadino, on the outside. That ball gets sent forward by Fall. It's intercepted by the Irish. Now falls for, well, I was going to say falls for Triplett. She didn't see it there, but now Enning steps. Nicely done. Enning through a couple of defenders, through a couple more defenders, now for Bray. Just a little more quality on that pass and might have snuck through, but Jolstrom avoids, nicely done, avoids Styler. Ball gets popped over the top. Opportunity for Leitenberg. Leitenberg is going to run this ball down. She's going to get a touch to it, and the ball will be put out, and now the Wildcats will have truly their first corner of the game. Of course, Skip, the Wildcats had earned a corner right at the end of the half, but of course didn't even have a chance to take the corner, and now Macy Bray will have a chance to line this up.
We've seen the Wildcats play good defense on corner kicks by the Irish. Let's see if they can put one together here offensively.
Where's this ball going to end up? Comes in flat, finds bodies. It's scrambled around, and it's in the back of the net. It's in the back of the net. Let's see who poked it home. It looks like they're giving credit maybe to Anna Enning. I can't tell.
I think it's Leitenberg, number 8.
You think it's Leitenberg? I couldn't tell it. Couldn't tell who it was. In any event, we've got a 2-1 lead to the Wildcats here in the 53rd minute.
That is the dangerous situation defensively when you allow the cornerback, the corner kick to get into the 6, and it just sits there and nobody's getting a foot on it and just waiting for, from a defensive point of view, bad things to happen. That's exactly what did happen. Leitenberg steps up, hammers that one into the back of the net, her second goal of the night.
Fair to say, I think, Skip Newton, that was a scrum in front of the net, and the Wildcats were able to find some gold there at the end of the scrum. To be honest with you, I'm not sure who. We'll find out. We'll get the official announcement shortly from public address announcer Dave Giles, and here it comes. And it will be given to Leitenberg. Great eyes, Skip Newton. And Bray will claim the assist. So the Wildcats now, despite, I wouldn't say being dominated necessarily, but despite perhaps not playing their best soccer of the season in the first half, find themselves on the right end of a 2-1 score. Good step there by Enning. Triplett. Triplett's going to get pushed, and they'll foul against the Irish. So big shot here, big spot here for the Irish. They've got to rally. They've got to find some way to do it a little bit differently. And as pronounced as their offensive pressure was in the first half, didn't really result in many great scoring chances, Skip Newton.
Not a lot of shots, right? Like you said, you used the word dominated, and I know you felt like maybe that's a little strong, but it feels right for that first half until that goal was scored, the game-tying goal in the 32nd minute. But the second half, it's been definitely, if not controlled by Eagan, for sure an evenly played second half. Rosemount's they're struggling a little bit here. The momentum has shifted in the Wildcats' favor.
Ball from Fall found its way towards Wimberly, who pitched it out. Fall dispossessed. Foul here now against the Irish, and Wildcats frankly bailed out there. So Enning earning the foul. Like I said, the Wildcats look like they were in a bit of an ant scramble, which is a colloquial term for we're not exactly sure where we are or what we're doing. We're just kind of running around. The defense looked a little bit unsettled. I'll say it that way. Cron takes it short. Jolstrom now leads off for Cron. Cron's got a big leg. Let's see if she tries to send somebody down the field. She does, but she's intercepted or tackled from behind. Crossed in by Jolstrom, looking for Leitenberg. Ball goes down. It's a big step by Cron. Like to see Cron finish her check there. Stop the offensive momentum, even if she gets called for a foul. Enning beating around the corner. Here's a ball high and over the, oh my goodness, that was a strike. Great shot by Great on the far side. Lucky for the Wildcats that was not on frame.
Yeah, defensive strategy needs to be put into place, and they need to prevent her from getting the ball. I mean, Kendall Great is just continuously making things happen. Every time she gets an opportunity, it feels like a good chance to score follows quickly, and I see why the strategy for the Irish is to get the ball down the wings, because she's on one of those wings, and between her and her teammate Tadino, they're making things happen on the outside.
Well, this is certainly something I have not seen. Inga Jolstrom, captain midfielder, defensive midfielder, back inside the goal area, helping with that goal kick. A bit of a miss hit there for the Irish, but they claim. Ball bouncing around a little bit. It's nice to see, if you're a Wildcat fan, it's nice to see other teams occasionally have balls bounce a funny way on them too. It feels like the Wildcats have definitely their share of that, as Bumpers gets a foot to that, finds Bray. Now Macy Bray with a little bit of an opportunity to attack. She's tackled well. And the Irish counter. Heupel stepping amongst a couple of defenders to get that ball. Ball comes up and over the top. Yin. Use the outside of her foot. Nicely done. Triplet just a bit of a step late getting there. Bumpers is going to come back. Nicely done now to Jolstrom. Jolstrom's cross finds blocked and finds Burke. Back to Enning. So the Wildcats with an opportunity here. She's dispossessed. And a foul here, I suspect. Whoa, no foul there. I thought there might be a whistle there. It wasn't. Bray with a chance to attack. She doesn't have numbers, but she has momentum and she has space, and that ball was intercepted. To see Bray maybe pull that back and, pick either Leitenberg or Bumpers out on a run. She's not going to beat 3 or 4 defenders in the middle, but she certainly could wait for help.
Yeah, sometimes you have to suppress that desire to push down the field aggressively. If the numbers aren't there, if you don't have the opportunity, just be patient, hold it up, let your teammates, fill out the shape, and then you can make something happen. Sometimes you get a little too excited when you get that opportunity and you're approaching that back line.
Difficult to remember, Skip Newton. It's somewhat hard to remember. This is only the 8th game of the year for the Wildcats, and only the 6th game of the year for the Irish. So, there are still some times. I know we had this conversation in the Eastview game and a couple of other games where players still are not on the same page. And I see Leitenberg, for instance, in the last sequence, put a header a particular direction, but Triplet wasn't on the same page. This ball finds its way down into the corner. Cron with the defense in the corner. And that will go harmlessly over the end line for a goal kick.
Like Heupel's just trying to get a corner out of that. Nice job defensively to not yield that.
So here is Jolstrom again. It's taken short. Jolstrom rolls it out. Enning pitches that forward. That ball stays in play. Nicely done. Bumpers. She can run. So can Macy Bray. Can Bray get to that? She almost had it. Nice job by Courtney Bumpers pressuring that ball. As speaking of pressure, here's Leitenberg. Good pressure. I should say good defense that time by Fall stepping up from her position. Heimerl looks for a teammate, looks for great, but it's intercepted by Enning. Enning with all sorts of space on the far side. Bumpers making the run. She plays it out for Enning. Enning pitches that in towards Bray. It bounces once. Can somebody in blue get to it? And the answer is no. It's going to be cleared by the Irish.
It's a nice ball in. Too bad the Wildcats couldn't capitalize. There was an opportunity there.
This ball does come in over the top. A ball gets sent towards goal. And great cashes in for the Irish. So the Eagan back line couldn't quite get that tackle in correctly. And great, not just her second, so we've got two girls on a hat trick. Kendall Great and Ava Leitenberg Great here in the, let's do the math here, 61st minute. Could not get the official announcement on the assist, as we'll have some substitutions now for the Wildcats.
A really brilliant play there by Great. Weissel had come off her line trying to get there. She didn't get there in time, and that made it one of those opportunities where all Great had to do was get it by her, and it goes in. That's exactly what she did. It would have been interesting to see if Weissel had decided to play back, would Great still have had such an easy time finishing. It's tough to say. I mean, goalkeepers, they have to commit in a split second. I'm not suggesting she made the wrong decision because you have to go for it.
Sounds like Heupel is going to get the assist. So a 2-2 score, 19 and a half minutes to go here in the second half. Leitenberg pops that up towards Bumpers. Finds its way back to Siljan. And now another opportunity on the far side. Great's actually moved to the middle of the field, of the formation. So another foul here against the Wildcats. And now a little bit of momentum stolen back by the Rosemount Irish. Probably their best, other than the corners, Skip Newton, probably their best shot/scoring chance of the whole game.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that you've noticed what they're doing is they continue to move Great around. You know, she's played on the far side. She's played on the near side. Now she's playing in the middle. I think they're just trying to make it more difficult for the Wildcats to keep track of where she's at and keep her marked.
Wildcats get a clearance. Ball goes into touch. And the Irish will claim. Irish Wildcats not under any pressure there, and the ball just was allowed to go into touch. Opportunity now for the Irish with a little bit of momentum. Just over 18 minutes to play. And if you're an Irish fan, this feels like, I wouldn't say justice necessarily, but it feels like a good result or the right result, because these teams have both shown some real skill and opportunity. Speaking of, Leitenberg around the defender. Defender comes back in, and they're going to get Leitenberg on fouling Wimberley. I think that's a good call.
I like the aggressive play by Leitenberg. Try to be physical. Try to win that ball, especially when you're down pressing in the penalty area.
Wimberley puts her foot to it, tries to find Heimerl, does. That ball gets pitched forward. Needs to be a step now by the Wildcats. Kron punches that forward, finds Leitenberg. Nicely done. Leitenberg, watched by Heimerl, pitches that in towards Bumpers. It's deflected. Now, again, this ball, see, some of these balls, Skip Newton, you just get the sense that the Wildcats aren't quite on the same page, because sometimes these balls come in and there's not another player on the other side, despite the fact that the player passing the ball thinks that she's going to be there. Nice play by Burke. Again, Leitenberg to the side. Bumpers to Westerman. Siljan out to Enning, back to Siljan. Siljan's big touch almost let her down, but Enning is going to get to that ball. Send it back for fall. Lots of big touches out there by the Wildcats. Would like to keep these balls stuck to their feet just a little bit more.
Well, Rosemount plays aggressive defense, so they're just going to keep pressuring, hoping to force the turnover, force the Wildcats into a mistake.
Ending around one defender. Steps, finds Leitenberg, who slid to the middle. Leitenberg around one defender. Now can she get by two defenders? She does. She's going to cross, go to goal, and she scores! Oh my goodness, the hat trick for Ava Leitenberg out of nowhere. It was an innocuous little run. She was clearly defended. But the left foot doesn't lie, and it tucks it in under the bar. Big goal for the Wildcats.
She absolutely top-shelved that shot. What a finish by Leitenberg. I honestly don't think that Beeble had any idea that thing was coming. It was just a smash. No goalkeeper makes that save. Leitenberg having a night. 3 goals, putting the Wildcats back in the lead here in the 64th minute.
I have to say, Skip Newton, I did not see that coming. I honestly, Leitenberg had a defender in front of her. The goalie Beeble was right there, cutting down the angle. Nothing Beeble could have done on that one. That ball was smashed up and over her heads, over her head, over her hands. Just not much there for her. Wow, and the Wildcats take a 1-goal lead. 1-2 play on the far side. Westerman's going to try to get on the end of this, and she doesn't. We'll see if we can get who had the assist. I think it's going to be Enning. 64th minute, and the Wildcats take a 3-2 lead. 15 and change to go. I told you at the beginning of the broadcast, folks, you're in for some great soccer tonight, and even though it hasn't always been pretty, it has been compelling, Skip Newton.
Yeah, it's been a very entertaining game, and we've got 15 minutes more to go, so I think we got a lot more soccer, good soccer here to play.
Fall tries to lay that off for a teammate, almost turned it over. Siljan, now Westerman. Westerman tries to put the moves on and go around Johnson to the outside. Johnson says not today. Comes back for Siljan. Enning pops that across. Leitenberg again looking for an opportunity, and this time Beeble claims. Nicely done. Leitenberg saying, hey, wait a minute, there was a lot of contact going in, but certainly not enough to draw a foul at this point. If you're going to draw a penalty at this point in the game, I would imagine it would have to be a pretty obvious one. Ball comes down for the Irish. It comes off of Burke. Fall with the defense on the outside. She's going to have to use her body as Great is very fast out there. Great dispossesses, nicely done. That ball comes through everybody. Finds Triplett. Triplett on the near side. She's going to cross the other side. I'm not 100% sure what that was about. Only because there were a lot of white shirts on that part of the pitch. Anyway, this ball comes in towards Weissel, and Weissel claims. Nicely done. I want to make sure we thank our sponsors here for Wildcat Soccer. Our platinum sponsors, Ansari's Chips Pickleball Club, the Eagan Hockey Association, Twin Cities Orthopedics, and the Willie team at Edina Realty. And of course, Wave Soccer. Thank you so much for supporting our student athletes and doing everything you can to help Eagan Soccer. And Eagan Soccer putting on a show here tonight, the Ava Leitenberg show, if I could say it that way. I don't think that's too much. I don't think that's exaggeration.
Well, she's putting on a show by finishing. I mean, just great opportunities. This last one really set up by herself with her speed move around two girls, but she's finishing those chances. The first goal, a rebound off a penalty kick. The last two, punching one home, one off the corner, and one she set up herself.
A big cross comes all the way over. We'll find Great on the far side of the penalty area. Wildcats need to rally. Ball gets popped up into the middle. Falls for Heimerl. Heimerl will go to goal. It's big block there by Burke. Nicely done, Evie Burke. And now the Wildcats will look to break. And Westerman pitches that out of danger, which gives me a chance to say thank you to our gold sponsors here for Wildcat Soccer: Birchwood Dental, Raising Cane's, Coldwell Banker, and Rami Cormont. Dermatology Consultants, Eagan Arms, the Eagan Football Association, Escape With Us Vacations, Homestead Auto, Salvo Soccer Club, Teresa's Triple Diamond Sports Cards and Collectibles, and the Urgency Room. Thank you to our gold sponsors as Heimerl fouls triplet. And given the age of those two players, those two number 7s might be matched up for another couple of years.
Exactly, yeah. I was thinking the same thing. We'll see these players a couple more years for sure, and the rivalry will continue to build between these two strong programs.
Yeah, regardless of the result in this game, it's on between these two programs. Both of these programs want to see excellence and want to see a victory. Fall. Siljan looking for Leitenberg. Why not? Leitenberg with a nice turn. Unfortunately, that's going to run into touch. Might ask yourself, how does Ava Leitenberg keep running so much? In this game, of course, she's played every minute of the game so far, and the reason she does is because she's a all-state, state champion 800 runner. So that ball's going to find its way back to Cron. Cron's going to have an opportunity to send that for Fall. Fall to the middle. Looks for triplet, lays off for Burke. Nice. See, that's well worked. It doesn't quite come off when Burke sends it forward, but it's well worked. A nice set of 2 or 3 short, controlled passes where the ball sticks on someone's feet. Bumpers with an opportunity. That ball gets popped up in the air. Heimerl with it. She sends it forward. And now with 11 minutes to go, imagine the Irish will need to be pushing a little bit here to try to create scoring opportunities. And a foul here against the Wildcats. They're going to get triplet for pulling the jersey. Referee's going to have a quick chat with her to say, make sure you don't do that. Wasn't the most egregious pull of the jersey we've ever seen, but an easy call that time for the center referee. Assistant referee agreed with him.
Yeah, both girls were showing a lot of physicality coming down the near touchline, so not surprised that it ended up in a foul. Unfortunately, it goes Rosemount's way.
Rosemount throwing almost everybody forward. 8 players in the penalty area. Great pitches that in, looking for the back post. It's a header away, and we have an offside call. So an offside call with the Irish being caught offside on the far side. So great opportunity here for the Wildcats to relieve the pressure as the clock runs now with just under 10 minutes to play. Like to see the Wildcats take their time on this as Fall will stand over it. And make sure we also say thank you to our amazing and award-winning crew. Josh Sibley, our executive producer, Jared Greenberg, our director, and camera work by Michelle Nielsen and Max Hellmuller. Thank you so much for making us look and sound so good here on ETV. That ball comes in too flat, but Cron claims and pitches it forward. I have to say, Skip Newton, I don't think the Wildcats want to play back. I don't think they want to just catch for the next, 9 minutes or so. It seems like they need to continue to attack.
Yeah, it's a little early to go into a defensive shell. They need to stay aggressive. I think they've been playing an even half because they've been more aggressive in the second half. They need to continue that. You get defensive, and you're just asking for a team like Rosemount to put one in and get that equalizer.
Cron pops that forward, comes off of Heimerl. Burke battling. Burke keeps it in. Cron, left foot. And Yin earns the throw. Every throw worth a good 15 seconds of time if the Wildcats do it correctly.
Ball girl doing her part, throwing it to nobody. Well played.
And substitutions or not. I guess we're not substituting. Cron with a nice heave down. And she's going to have another chance at that. I might be a bit biased, but I really like it. I like to see Cron with those big throws, especially late in the game where every time we have an opportunity is, let's see who's going to check in here. This is Sienna Rozga checking in. So Sienna Rozga checking in. Let's see what she's going to do. The defense still not sure exactly. You can see him talking about who's taking what position. Here's an opportunity for Siljan. She's got a lot of green grass in front of her. She slides that forward, looking for bumpers. Doesn't quite come off. And now the Wildcats will be back to the defensive stands. Westerman, Westerman got hit there. And we'll have a foul against the Irish. So then that ball goes a good 30 yards away, which will take at least 20 seconds to run down. I have to say, I appreciate, Skip, you and I have been doing these games for a few years now, and we've remembered when There have been a few times when Wildcat teams have been up by a goal and they've been running to take corners or running to take throw-ins. It's like, guys, let's have a little more gamesmanship here, please.
And they're doing a nice job here. They're not slow walking it up, but they're not jogging it either. It's been a well-played delay of about 20-plus seconds at least.
And ending on the far side, the Wildcats they may have gone to even 5 at the back as Leitenberg with her hat trick is standing back near the defense. Kind of almost dropped into a midfield position. Wildcats just need to control this ball. And Enning dispossessed. She's going to have to hustle back. Ball gets played in towards Great. If I were the Irish, that's who I'd feed to. Burke breaks that up. Nicely done. Clearance that time by the Wildcats. Nicely done.
Good pressure there.
Bartlam didn't have anywhere else to go with it. Nicely done. Wessel pitches that forward, finds Leitenberg's chest. Triplett with it. Triplett pitches it up over the top. Opportunity for Bumpers. Bumpers is almost going to get on the end of that. Nicely done. I like that. That was a good, well-weighted ball by Triplett. Bumpers almost got to that, Skip.
That's a very challenging pass to complete. It's really hard to go straight forward because the keeper has such an advantage coming out, and she almost pulled it off. Very nice touch.
Triplett with it again, battling. Nicely done. Tackled by Heimerl. Tudino comes away with it. And Lightberg cleans that up. Opportunity here for fall. Westerman, nice turn. Looking for Bumpers. Ball gets pitched forward. Burke with a good header. Should start keeping track of how many headers Evie Burke's got in a game, Skip. I think we'd hit probably 8 or 9.
She's got that height in her family for sure, and she uses it well.
Ball comes to the near side. Fall finds Leitenberg. Miscommunication there between Siljan and Burke. Gifts the ball back to the Irish. Good step that time by Leitenberg. At this point, the Wildcats, with 5 minutes to go, just need to be first to every ball. First to every ball, cleaning up everything, making sure that there's not an opportunity for the Wildcats, for the Irish to stretch things out. And Jolstrom will check in for Triplett. Although the way Tess Triplett's playing, Skip Newton, I'm not sure I would be taking, well, check that. Courtney Bumpers is going to be coming off. Triplett will be sliding to the center forward position. I think that makes a lot of sense. Bumpers has made some big runs here in this second half. Jolstrom Burke. Burke feeds back to Enning. She pitches it up over the top, but it's intercepted that time by the Irish. Good step that time by Enning. That time it was great waiting for that ball, and Enning's picking her pocket.
That's not something you'll see very often. A big turnover there or lack of winning the ball that you probably should have won. I mean, it's costing them precious seconds by now. Eagan possessing and doing a nice job.
Burke dances through the midfield, finds Leitenberg, who slid kind of back to, if I can say this, back to an outside back position. She plays that in the club. Leitenberg, lots of room. She pitches that up over the top, looking for Audrey Siljan. Siljan just needs to get a touch to this. She's going to send it back in, and it's going to go into touch over the end. Would have liked Siljan to calm that ball down maybe and
take more time.
Take a little bit more time with that. The Wildcats, certainly in the last few minutes, Skip, seem to be really increasing their defensive pressure, not letting the Irish do what they really want to do. Westerman. And the Irish are wise to crossing the ball over to Leitenberg. You can see the Heimerl shadowing Leitenberg. Attempted a one-touch there, doesn't come off, but the Wildcats will battle, and a foul there against the Wildcats. I think that's a good call. And Martin got dumped. She gets up a little gingerly. We'll say this. I do like the fact that, Skip, that we have not had any, as physical as the game has been, we haven't had any obvious injuries for anybody, which is incredibly important for both of these teams.
I'm a little surprised that Rosemount had so many girls back on that free kick. There were 5 girls, including the one taking the kick, really limiting their numbers.
Cron punches that up, finds Jolstrom. Jolstrom header away. Burke. Burke gets hauled down. But the Irish will maintain possession. And that's a blue throw. Yep, that's a blue throw. So with 2 minutes and 26 seconds to go, the Wildcats holding on to, I wouldn't say clinging to a 1-goal lead, but I would say holding on right now.
I feel like they're handling it well so far. They seem very poised. I'm a little surprised that there doesn't seem to be as much anxious desire and desperation from Rosemount. I mean, this is the most aggressive pressure we've seen on the ball for maybe the last 7-8 minutes. Like they're letting Eagan control the play, which really surprises me.
Ball comes up and over the top that time by, I think it was Triplett who punched that forward, letting Jolstrom run onto it. It's going to get well into touch. And with 2 minutes to go, under 2 minutes to go, the Wildcats concede a throw at the midfield stripe. Nervy stuff if you're a Wildcat fan. Irish trying to dial up a little more magic. Ball falls, and here's the magician that they need. It's great around the end. She's got a little bit of space. She sends it in, and it finds, it was a nice shot, and finds the football crossbar.
The strategy for the Wildcats needs to be if you can prevent Great from touching the ball, if you can't, you almost have to double team her. You have to have somebody right on her hip, right in her face. Do not let her set up that shot. She's got a crushing left foot. I mean, her and Leitenberg, they've been the stars of the show so far. I don't want to see her get her third.
Absolutely not. I have to say, with 1 minute to go, you have to say that is, if I was the Irish, that's who I'd be feeding, right? I mean, she's the hottest player you have on the field. She's had 2 goals today. Just keep giving her the ball. And if I was like you said, if I'm the Wildcats, I just say that's not happening. Not on my watch. So a throw or a foul? Let's see.
Foul there.
Yeah, I think that's a foul on Westerman.
Okay, we got.
Well,
a little worried there.
Yeah, the ball has to come back though to its spot. Center referee with 30 seconds to go. Last gasp here for the Irish. Almost everybody forward. Wessel will stand over it. Great lurking at the top of the key. The ball comes in towards the back post. Good opportunity there for the Wildcats. Good opportunity now. And a great ball that time by Triplett. Westerman's going to give chase. She's not going to get there, but it's not going to matter. Westerman punches that forward. Wanted to make sure she denied the Irish the possession. And it doesn't matter as the Wildcats hang on, conquer. I'm not sure. You know, it's kind of a weird second half. In any event, the Wildcats get it done. Maybe that's the best way to say it, Skip Newton. The Wildcats get it done. Final score of 3-2. Skip, this second half started a little bit uneven, maybe, but the Wildcats really came into it.
Absolutely. They went in the first half probably knowing that they got outplayed, but they felt good. They're tied at 1. All right, let's see what we can do in the second half. They came out. They were much more physical, much more aggressive, and then they put 2 in the sack, and they only gave up 1, and they earned the win. And I think that's a huge win over a ranked team.
It's a huge win over a ranked team, both for section play, for conference title play, for rankings, however you want to do it. It's huge for these Wildcats. Big test for them, and to be fair, they passed.
Absolutely.
They passed the test.
Yep. Big, huge season win going into the next 3 weeks before we get close to sectionals.
So don't go anywhere, everybody. In about 20 minutes or so, we've got coming up. We've got also two top 10 ranked teams here for the boys' side, Wildcats and the Irish. But we will step aside right now and give you a bit of a break. But don't go anywhere because you will want to see this game between these 2 boys' teams. This should be some very compelling play between 2 highly ranked, incredibly skilled teams. For my broadcast partner, Skip Newton, and award-winning ETV crew, my name is Nathan Cron. Final score here from Wildcat Stadium, Eagan girls 3, Irish girls 3. So long, everybody.